The UN has become involved in the deportations between the United States and El Salvador. See, there are these things called international laws. And the United Nations Human Rights Office of High Commissioner, well, they're focusing on the lack of due process and the human rights violations that have been occurring with the deportees from the United States being detained and put in prison in El Salvador. 20 UN high-level human rights experts have been expressing grave concern over the deportations from the United States to El Salvador. And in fact, they said it seems as though the Aliens Enemies Act of 1798 has been misapplied in this situation. There's been a lack of due process, which is contrary to international law. They further said that these decisions to deport these individuals to El Salvador was clearly inadequate to determine whether or not these individuals would be at risk for serious human rights violations while being imprisoned in El Salvador. What are the human rights violations that have occurred? There's a complete lack of due process. The U.S. arbitrarily deported individuals who were reportedly not even involved in gangs. These decisions did not appear to consider the impact on the right to family life or what is in the best interest of children that were involved in or related to these individuals that were deported. The conditions of these prisons are in clear violation of human rights, the torture, the deaths, the lack of being able to contact family members or access to their lawyers, to counsel. There are over 100 Venezuelan nationals affected by this that have been sent there. And there's no family visits. There's no judicial review. The UN wants independent monitoring of these facilities where all these prisoners are being held, not just CCOT. And they want these prisoners to have basic human rights as described before. Now, the UN is the largest intergovernmental organization in the world that formalizes, monitors, and enforces the norms of international law. So we'll see what happens with all of this. But when the UN is involved, El Salvador might need this, might need them. You know, El Salvador gets a lot of money outside of their own pocket. So, and outside of the US's pocket, especially for needs of infrastructure. So we'll see what occurs with this. Of course, I'll keep you updated. Please like, follow, and share so that I can continue to provide you with content. And I appreciate you being here.